Seriously? Where did they go? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 famous 90s stars who dropped off the map.
Excuse me, but I think a modicum of gratitude would not be out of line here.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at famous stars from the 1990s who have done nothing or very little of note since their peak and or in the early 21st century. We'll be ranking our picks based on how popular they were in their heyday and their lack of significant work in recent years.
Didn't your father ever teach you never send a boy to do a man's job?
Number 10. Edward Furlong. Furlong began his acting career playing John Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Do what your mother tells you.
She's not my mother, Todd.
This is often considered one of the greatest action movies of all time and grossed over $500 million at the box office in 1991. That's a hard feat to top, and Edward Furlong never did. He subsequently starred in a few independent movies before regaining national attention in 1998 alongside Edward Norton in American History X.
Oh God, man, please tell me you're joking.
And then he just sort of disappeared. He mostly starred in a string of direct-to-video movies in the 2000s and suffered from legal issues and drug addiction. In 2011, he appeared as a meth producer in The Green Hornet, which was his first somewhat notable role since the late 90s.
A grown man wearing a mask is a little bit scarier than a guy wearing a suit.
Number 9. Fairuza Balk.
Oh, wow, we're scared, Sarah. You scared?
Fairuza Balk had a respectable career in the mid-90s. One of her first major roles was as Nancy Downs in the cult classic The Craft, and she followed this up with a number of notable movies. She appeared alongside Marlon Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau, the aforementioned Furlong and Norton in American History X, and Adam Sandler in The Waterboy.
Hey, and by the way, I hope you like what I did to y'all lawnmower.
Her prosperous career looked to continue in the new decade, as she portrayed Sapphire in Almost Famous. But Balk's star soon fizzled out. She starred in a number of unremarkable movies throughout the 2000s and 2010s, though she more recently resurfaced in several episodes of Ray Donovan. Number 8. Leelee Sobieski. Leelee Sobieski was a major teen star in the late 90s. She appeared as Sarah Hotchner in the 1998 hit Deep Impact, and followed this up with roles in Never Been Kissed and Eyes Wide Shut. She was also cast in the titular role of the 1999 miniseries Joan of Arc, earning Emmy and Golden Globe nominations.
Because they need someone to believe in.
Up next was A Whole Lot of Nothing, before she retired from movies in the early 2010s to focus on her children. She currently paints abstract art under her married name, Leigh Kimmel.
I want to be a novelist. I want to be a weekend flautist. I want to be a potter. I want to be a painter. I want to be an architect. And I want to go to Northwestern.
Number 7. Andrew Keegan.
Actually, I just came by to chat.
We don't chat.
Andrew Keegan appeared in a few movies throughout the 1990s, including Camp Nowhere and 10 Things I Hate About You. But his main claim to fame was his work in television. He starred as Jack Kelly for 17 episodes of Thunder Alley, Reed Isley for 8 episodes of Party of Five, and Wilson West for 22 episodes in Seventh Heaven.
Reverend Camden, I'm glad you called.
He then starred in numerous direct-to-video and short films throughout the 2000s before creating a spiritual center in Venice Beach called Full Circle in 2014. While Keegan has described Full Circle as a, quote, non-denominational spiritual community center, others have called it a cult. However, Full Circle disbanded in June 2017. Number 6. Christina Ricci.
Your work is puerile and underdramatized. You lack any sense of structure, character, or the Aristotelian unities.
Christina Ricci was popular for the majority of the 90s. She became a child star by appearing as Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family franchise. She transitioned from child star to teen icon by appearing in numerous movies as a teenager, most notably 1995's Casper.
It's a little late for that, Dad.
As a young adult, she found significant box office success with Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow and critical acclaim with the romantic comedy The Opposite of Sex, which earned her a Golden Globe nomination.
What is your problem?
While she has been steadily working in film and television since the early 2000s, her popularity has significantly waned, and she isn't as much of a household name as she once was. Number 5. Joe Pesci.
Well, if the kid's there, the parents gotta be.
He's home alone.
Joe Pesci was everywhere in the 90s. He showed up in family movies like Home Alone and its sequel. He showed up in adult comedies like My Cousin Vinny. He appeared in hard-hitting dramas like Oliver Stone's JFK. And we can't forget action blockbusters like Lethal Weapon 3. He also frequently collaborated with Martin Scorsese, appearing as tough guys in Goodfellas and Casino. The guy did it all. And then he retired at the height of his fame. Since Lethal Weapon 4 in 1998, Pesci has only been credited in 3 movies, with a 4th, Scorsese's The Irishman, set for a 2019 release date.
You're a funny guy.
That's it, Henry. That's it, Henry.
Number 4, Wesley Snipes. And let this be a lesson to everyone. Always pay your taxes. Snipes was one of the biggest blockbuster stars of the 90s, appearing in many notable movies like White Men Can't Jump, Passenger 57, Demolition Man, and Blade.
You give Frost a message from me. You tell him it's open season on all suckheads.
His star continued to rise throughout the early parts of the 2000s before he was charged with conspiring to defraud the country and attempting to attain false tax refunds. In 2008, Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in prison for failing to file income tax returns. He was released from prison in 2013, although he has so far failed to recapture his glory days of old.
Look, I need your help.
Number 3, Bridget Fonda.
You promised me a stamp there.
I know.
Twice.
Bridget Fonda is the granddaughter of Hollywood legend Henry Fonda and the daughter of Peter Fonda. And like her family before her, she made quite a name for herself in the movies throughout the 1990s. She appeared in a number of notable films, including The Godfather Part 3, Single White Female, and Quentin Tarantino's often overlooked Jackie Brown.
I never really got to know him, but I knew enough to know that I wasn't missing much, so.
She also found success on television, earning an Emmy nomination for her work in the HBO film In the Gloaming. However, despite a Golden Globe nod for 2001's No Ordinary Baby, she's basically dropped off the face of the earth, retiring after her most recent credit in the Hallmark movie Snow Queen, which was released in 2002. Number 2, Rachel Lee Cook. Rachel Lee Cook made a splash in the entertainment world at the very tail end of the 1990s. Her breakout role came in 1999 when she played Lainey Boggs in the surprise hit She's All That.
Can I get you something?
She followed this up with a few appearances in the hit teen drama Dawson's Creek, before successfully entering the new millennium with a voice role in Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and the lead role in Josie and the Pussycats.
Like he's really gonna call the cops.
Since that time, she's appeared in countless direct-to-DVD movies, and while she has starred in a few television programs, she isn't even close to the star that she was in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I had an instinct. I ran against it. This is my fault.
Number 1, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. JTT had the world in the palm of his hand. At 10, Thomas was cast as Randy Taylor on Home Improvement.
Oh yeah, I'd rather prance. No one ever died in a prancing accident.
This sitcom would make Thomas a household name, as he appeared in nearly 180 episodes of the show over 7 years. After a few years on TV, Thomas made his film debut in 1994 by voicing young Simba in The Lion King.
My dad just showed me the whole kingdom, and I'm gonna rule it all.
The kid had a huge career, but in 1998, he seemingly lost interest in showbiz and left Home Improvement to attend school. He all but disappeared around 2006 and wasn't seen or heard from for almost a decade, though he did appear in 4 episodes of Tim Allen's 2013 sitcom, Last Man Standing.
You know, a lot of times that middle child ends up being the funny one because he wants the attention.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.